Revenge films.
One day I got into an argument with my husband over something small, even though we usually don't. It all started on the train on the way home from my parents-in-law's for the new year. My husband brought a cup of ice cream from the in-cabin trolley. It was rock hard, and he was irritated that it was hard to eat. The lady selling that ice cream told you to leave it for some time because it's frozen hard. I told him, but then he suddenly got so mad.
That's not what I'm talking about!
She told him it was hard and even told him how to eat it, so I couldn't understand why he was mad. He kept on trying to eat it, but since it was rock hard, he couldn't scoop the ice cream. In the end, he left it on his table, saying,
How the hell am I supposed to eat this?
Once it was melted enough to eat, I told him it was ready. But then he acted like a child and said,
Shut up! I wanted to eat then, not now!
He was moody the whole time after that and told me,
I'm sick of you talking back to me.
Once we got home, How long are you going to go on like this? Do you want me to buy you Haagen-Dazs tomorrow?
Shut up!
You're the one who brought it back up. I had no idea what he wanted to do. What the hell? I thought this to myself, but he was a completely different person. He was scary, looking angrily at me with bloodshot eyes as if he was possessed.
You're a woman, so don't talk back to me.
But of course, I could never promise him that, so I told him, I can't promise you that. As a person, no one has a right to tell me what to do. My mouth slipped and I told him he wasn't man enough to be nagging about ice cream. Then he struck out at me. I was so surprised that I had my fists up before I knew it, and we were hitting each other. I then spun once and gave him a backhand blow on the side of his head. I was a boxer when I was a student, and I immediately reacted to his movement before I knew it. It hit him well, and he collapsed. Of course, I apologized to him from the bottom of my heart, but I guess this was more of shame than a pain to him. From this day, he stopped talking to me. Whenever he had something to say, he'd leave a note on the table. But he took the lunchbox I made every morning and would bring it back home empty. He ate the dinner I made, too. But he wouldn't comment on it, nor would he smile. He's expressionless the whole day. On the weekend, he went out without a word, not wanting to be with me. I knew we couldn't go on like this, so I told him I wanted to talk about it, but he ignored me. I didn't think it was right for me to obey whatever he said. And this all started because he tried to hit me in the first place. So I didn't think it was right to blame everything on me. But still, I apologized. I was getting tired of him acting the way he was. Then, one day, he placed an envelope on the table when he came home and banged on the table. Of course, without a word. Irritated, I took out the paper from inside, knowing that's what he wanted me to do. It was the year-end tax adjustment that was due at the end of the month. I knew he wanted me to fill out the form, but I was beyond mad that he was banging the table without saying anything. What? I asked him, but he just kept banging the table. I said, "What do you want?" He was staring at me silently. This is for the year-end tax adjustment, right? There's a place for me to write my name as your wife, but you're not expecting me to sign it in this situation, are you? Then he spoke out loud for the first time in a month.
What do you mean?
You ignored me and wouldn't speak to me no matter how many times I tried to talk to you. Have you never thought about how I was feeling? Do you really think I didn't consider divorcing you?
I never thought of getting a divorce. That's why I took my lunch and ate the dinner you made. No man would do that if they're considering a divorce.
Then why didn't you try to talk to me?
Sometimes it takes time for people to forgive. You hit me, you know. Do you even know how I felt? Of course, it's gonna take time. Are you so stupid you don't understand?
I never tried to hit you, and I apologized for that, didn't I? Besides, it all started with you trying to hit me, remember?
This is what I'm talking about! I would have forgiven you if you had just apologized rather than talk back to me!
Why would I do that? I have my own will just like you do. You have no right to suppress that. That's why I asked you to talk with me. Then again, he said,
There's no need!
If you're not willing to talk, I can only go to your parents and talk to them. He finally agreed to talk, but he came up with unbelievable conditions.
Fine, then let me hit you once. No guard. That way, we can be fair and talk.
Huh? Is he seriously saying this right now? I knew this instant I had to divorce him, although I'd been vaguely thinking about it. I couldn't help but despise him for thinking it was okay for him to try and hit me without a guard. Since I lost my feelings for him, I was able to stay calm and say, "Are you for real? Why do I have to let you hit me? You're out of your mind."
Just let me hit you!
I apologized, didn't I? Besides, I told you that I only reacted because you tried to hit me first, right? You're making it look like it's all my fault. Aren't you also to blame for trying to hit me first?
It's your fault for talking back to me every time! Just let me hit you!
I never knew he was an asshole who'd been satisfied by hitting a woman. Fine. Hit me.
Alright, don't guard yourself!
But I'm gonna hit you back. When I said this, he lowered his fists and went to our bedroom skulkily. What an asshole. He's fine with hitting a woman and injuring her, but doesn't want to get hurt himself? The next day, I made up my mind to divorce him. I called my in-laws too. I could never have a reasonable conversation with my husband, you know? So I told them what was going on between us. I know I'm also to blame, but I don't think I can stay with my husband who doesn't question hitting me. My parents-in-law were pale at what my husband had done. I then went back home, signed the divorce paper, and gave it to him. "Please sign this." When he saw the paper, he said,
Screw you! I told you I wasn't getting a divorce! If you just listen to me and let me hit you, I'm willing to forgive and forget!
"You don't need to forgive and forget. I won't let you hit me either. I'm just telling you I can't stay with you." Then my husband started banging on the table. But I have nothing to do with him now, so I left. I hired a lawyer and got divorced. My in-laws stepped in for me. They asked and confirmed that he tried to hit me and even told me to let him hit me. Then, without showing any guilt, he said,
This is all her fault for not listening and talking back to me! I told her I'm willing to forgive and forget if she just lets me hit her once! What's wrong with that?
That was it for my father-in-law. He blew up and hit my husband.
You're out of your mind to even be able to say that! You have no right to be her husband if you don't think it's wrong to hit or tell her to let you hit her! She has every right to divorce you!
My husband was infuriated and insisted on getting alimony from me. But mine was justifiable self-defense, and he was turned down for how he'd acted after that. I heard his parents cut ties with him, but I don't blame them. Anyone would cut ties with their son if that was his true color.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.